Right, sorry about that abrupt interruption. Continuing from our last conversation, we can also study. We can also go about comparing countries by the integration of their political and economic systems. That's sort of complicated. Oh, why don't I just phrase it differently? How connected is the government to the economy? And we already know government and the economy are intertwined, often intertwined. Communism and capitalism, while they might be economic systems, how could you actually separate them from the government? Like, how could you redistribute wealth? If we go back to Karl Marx's views, he believed that communism would really need no government. However, that didn't pan out to be the case in reality. Attitudes of citizens may also affect economic decision making. For instance, a really good example was the recent recession that hit the global markets. Many protests erupted over bailouts, over massive bailouts of countries, of banks, um, huge amounts of unemployment. Basically, a plethora of problems. And here's an example of how food inflation and a low minimum wage sort of caused outburst in Egypt that eventually helped ousted Hosni Mubarak, I believe his name was. And before we finish up this first topic on the AP test, there are three separate groups. There are the advanced democracies. They're well-established democracies that have a high level of economic development. And if you see an asterisk, that means the country is on the AP test. There are communist and post-communist countries. These guys have sought to divide wealth more equally. I spelled wealth wrong. That's just lovely. Mm, I also spelled decline wrong. Wow. Haha. Communism has been in a decline recently. Examples of communist countries: Russia, Ukraine, both as post-communist, or even China, which the Ethan Elwood book describes as communist, but I would more so describe it as state capitalist. And then there are the third world countries. They don't fit the above categories. They can be rapid developing countries such as Iran and Mexico, which are expanding economically and moving towards stability and democratization, or there's slow developing countries that lack any development, such as Nigeria. And that covers topic one. Topic two is sovereignty, authority, and power. We'll cover that in the next video. See you then.